Welcome to this episode of Reviews and Road Trips. I'm your host, Rich Truesdell, and we're coming to you today from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, home of the Chrysler Nationals, held each July. Today it will be the start of our journey to visit three historic sites in three states that played an important part in the U.S. Civil War, also known as the War between the states. From Carlisle, we head south to Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. Then we head north to Antietam, Maryland, before we conclude our trip in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Our car, a 2018 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Widebody. Harper's Ferry is best known for the part it played leading up to the start of the Civil War, which ran from 1861 to 1865. In 1859, radical abolitionist John Brown and a small band of followers raided the town's armory in an attempt to ignite a slave insurrection. This raid was unsuccessful, and most of John Brown's party of abolitionists were killed or captured in a battle at the fire engine house, known as John Brown's Fort in Harper's Ferry. Brown, along with many of his followers captured at the fort, were later hanged for their part in leading the insurrection against the Commonwealth of Virginia. A group of U.S. Marines stationed nearby, commanded by Robert E. Lee and Jeb Stuart, called in to suppress the rebellion. Ironically, both gained fame as generals in service what would later become known as the Confederacy.
Just before the battle, the general hears a row. He says the Yanks are coming, I hear the rifles now. He turns around and wonders, what do you think he sees? The Georgia militia eating goober peas. Peas, eating goober peas. Goodness, how delicious, eating goober peas.
Within the town proper, there are a number of shops and restaurants, along with many displays presented by various historical societies, which give a flavor of life at Harper's Ferry circa 1860. With many well-marked trails throughout the park, Harper's Ferry is popular with hikers. Today, Harper's Ferry is the site of a national park dedicated to preserving its place in American history. Heading north from Harper's Ferry, we follow the route of Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. This was his first attempted invasion of the North into the border state of Maryland. The Battle of Antietam occurred on September 17, 1862, at Antietam Creek near Sharpsburg, Maryland. Facing Lee was Union General George McClellan's Army of the Potomac. The significance of the battle was that while it might have been considered a draw based on the number of casualties sustained on both sides, it was in fact a Union victory and a turning point in the war. The Visitor Center is located just down the road on Maryland 65 from Dunker Church, the focal point of the morning's battle. It was there that Alexander Gardner took the world's first battlefield photograph showing casualties in front of the church, which still stands. After checking in at the Visitor Center and picking up a map of the Antietam battlefield, you can use it as a guide for an auto tour of the battle's landmarks as well as the Antietam National Cemetery. This is a short walk from the site of the day's final battle at Lower Bridge, south of the Visitor Center. After Burnside's victory at Lower Bridge, Confederate forces were forced south back towards Gettysburg. If you remember any battle from your high school American history courses covering the Civil War, it's likely that it was the Battle of Gettysburg. Here over 3 days, July 1st through 3rd, 1863, the tide of the war finally turned in favor of the North, with Union General George Meade turning back the Southern forces commanded by General Robert E. Lee. Stop at the Visitor Center and pick up the well-detailed map of the Gettysburg battlefield. It's the start of a well-marked auto tour that documents all the Gettysburg battlefield. We stopped at several spots along Seminary Ridge to get a feel for the size and scope of the battlefield. We stopped at length at the site of the Virginia Memorial, where the last Confederate assault on July 3rd, Pickett's charge, was rebuffed by Union forces. Here you can look out on the field before you and imagine marching towards the Union lines to the east. It's a powerful place. One can almost imagine the cannons firing from both sides as the battle developed. When Pickett's charge failed, the Battle of Gettysburg ended. with Lee, having suffered more than 5,000 casualties on July 3rd, withdrew his forces and retreated back to Virginia. The aftermath of the battle, dedicating the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg. President Lincoln, in his Gettysburg address, 272 words, taking just 2 minutes, delivered a masterpiece of the English language, transforming the scene of carnage into one that honored the sacrifice of those who fell in battle. We ended our tour of Gettysburg, Soldiers' National Cemetery, site of Lincoln's Gettysburg address, paying homage to Americans of many wars who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedoms that often we take for granted. Soldiers' National Cemetery reminded me of the American Cemetery in Normandy, overlooking Omaha Beach. Looking out over the gravestones, it gives you a much greater appreciation of what it means to be an American. Touring Civil War battlefields on this hot day in July was made much more interesting from behind the wheel of our 2018 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Widebody. While best known for its straight-line abilities on a drag strip, we came away from our day behind the wheel thinking it to be a powerful 2+2 grand touring car as well. While battlefields are not the place to test its performance limits, we came away impressed at just how comfortable it was, and at an as-delivered price of $79,020. We are hard-pressed to think of any car under $100,000 that matches its combination of power, 199 mile-per-hour top-speed performance, handling, and dare we say comfort. It's a unique package.